Vice President Dr. Ali Badara Joof affirms that the government is working on plans for the relocation of people residing on waterways to solve the flooding disaster that has currently rendered thousands of families homeless within the Greater Banjul area during his visit on Sunday to communities affected by the heavy flooding. The VP, together with Mayor Bensouda of KMC and other senior government officials, started their tour of the flooded affected areas in Kotu. From there, they proceed to Sankun Silla Brown Street in Jos 1, then to Bakote, and then visited Sukuta Nema as well.
The minister will work on identifying a site which will be exclusively for those displaced people or people who are living in the quarries or in waterways, and we'll move them over there. So I'm calling on, we have the mayor of KMC is also here. So he will work with the ministry and the environment ministry so that when we come to relocate, we'll put resources together and move these people out.
Jos 1 Ibo town is one of the most affected areas in the Kanifing municipality and has been prone to flooding over the years, according to the mayor, Talib Ahmed Bensouda. Residents said the area is prone to flooding and harbors reptiles such as crocodiles. The mayor of KMC, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, explained some of the major challenges and urged people to avoid illegal dumping of waste on the roads and also stop settling on waterways.
We see the water is flowing, but in many instances it's just too much, meaning the people settled in many areas are blocking waterways. We also seen that the capacity of canals have been exhausted and water is overflowing. But we also want to remind people that the community has to also do their part. They have to make sure they don't indiscriminately dump in gutters and the riverine area, and also not to illegally settle, because if you settle where water is supposed to exit, you're also going to have flooding. So we had the VP talk to the Ministry of Lands to look at resettling many people, to look at creating affordable housing that I have advocated for many years, so people can live in safe areas that are well planned.
In his response, the Vice President urged the Mayor of KMC to work with the National Disaster Management Agency and the local government ministry to find a solution to the matter within the council. The team also visited Bakote, where the Vice President was equally updated about the heavy flash flooding that occurred within the community, which causes massive destruction to properties. Families in the area were left with no option but to run for their lives as they watched the flood destroy their houses. The authorities said plans are underway for the construction of water canals to enable water to move freely and to minimize flooding. However, there are challenges in ensuring this be done.
If you want to widen this place, again, a lot of settlements will also be affected.
Okay.
That's something that the government has to address, local government has to address. Are you going to demolish it completely, or are you going to relocate that?
We need to look at it very critically and to avoid people settling on waterways. Blocking waterways is going to be devastating to our population. And waste management, as the Honorable Minister have mentioned, is key in this. This is a waterway that goes all the way to Abuko, right down to the river, again down by Denton Bridge. So if it is blocked in any way, definitely we have to expect floods.
KMC is said to have the densely populated, and the mayor said there should be plans to relocate people and decentralize development as a way of encouraging people to stay in their villages. During his visit to the community of Mariamakunda and Yuna Highway, the Vice President expresses dissatisfaction towards GAM works over the unfinished road construction in the area, linking several communities, which has been inaccessible.
Tomorrow we'll call GAM works to the office, and then they will have to explain to us what happened, and we'll also have to send them here, and we'll see how best we can salvage the situation. These things cannot just continue on like this. Because if this was something that was commissioned for them to start before the rains, by now they should have completed it, or should have factored an alternative, bearing in mind that when the rains come, it would result to something like this, so that there's an alternative route for the Yuna people and the Mariamakunda people in terms of communicating, but more importantly for the Yuna people. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We have to take our responsibilities here. This maslaha business has to go out.
In Jaban, the Vice President ordered the Minister of Local Government and Lands to issue documents for the peoples to stop constructing on waterways from the physical planning. He said the minister must act on his mandate to ensure such properties are not constructed on waterways.
Let fiscal planning and local government take lead in this. We cannot have people coming from somewhere and just after money and coming to them, giving them places, and then they leave us with these kinds of problems. I said it at the retreat and I mean it, and I'm glad that the minister has put an embargo on this. We give priority to fiscal planning and the lands, let them demarcate properly with all those things and allocate to Gambians. No, Gambians cannot afford even the cheapest estate. Let's be honest about this.
Sirif Sonko, the chairman of Brikama Area Council, described Sunday's incident as devastating and called on people to avoid settling on waterways.
It is so devastating and it is so alarming, and then it is so worrisome also. And then the central government, together with the local government authorities, we are very much aware of it, and we want to stand with our full feet to make sure that we do something to the cries of our people, because it needs intervention. But the people cannot do it alone. I think we need to look at it. Certain times, there are certain man-made disasters. We need to look at where we are supposed to build our houses.
The Vice President, Dr. Joof, was accompanied by the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Honorable Ibrahim Silla, and other senior government officials, including Sirif Abbas Sanyang, the Minister of Local Government and Lands, Ami Faburanjai, Minister for Environment, Fatu Kinte, Minister for Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Sidi Keita, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, among other ministers. The visit ended in Brikama, where the delegation visited several affected communities. For TFA News Review, Dauda Balde.